you are being asked to evolve. Well, we all are. And that's what we do as we live. We evolve as we come into the world. But I'm specifically talking about this time in our world. We've all seen how it looks. It looks a little chaotic and things are coming apart at the seams is what it seems like, but it's not that to me. I know that what is going on is we're each being asked to evolve. We're all born the same way. We're born as beings with talent, abilities that are within us, but we also have restrictions. That's the purpose of our lives, is to move through whatever we were given in our individual paths, move through those restrictions and limitations, and then offer something to the world that's going to allow it to become more, to evolve as well. We each contribute equally because it's energetic, but we don't always understand that. We couldn't have possibly understood it 100 years ago. We didn't have sciences that would have even explained that to us, but we do have it now. We know about neuroscience. We're learning about the quantum field. We're getting all of that. And so we have to begin to utilize that within ourselves so that we can make a difference in our world. No one is creating the world but us, and we do that individually. So if we're not experiencing what we want to have in our lives, then we might not be willing to take that next step into the evolution of who we are. Because see, it's always that moving into the unknown of who we are that is a little frightening. And then there's this collective unknown that's going on now. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen with the world. Is it going to blow apart? Well, no, if you decide to evolve, you see, because it's nobody else is doing it for us. We have to do it. But I got to tell you, I'm going to do a workshop because I want to explain some of this. I know people don't understand, how could I have done the things that I've done in my life and where did it come from? When I wrote my book released it in 2019, Overcoming Fear, A Guide to Freedom, I wanted to give people more ideas of all the crazy stuff that I've moved through and showing them, giving them some tips how they can do the same thing. When I started creating my other work, it was many, many years ago. It was because I knew this time in our world would be here. And so the more you become happy, successful, prosperous, that's a different energy that you're putting into the world. And that means that you are evolving. Because see, we always have that within us and there's no limit. It doesn't matter how much money you've made in your life or how successful you've become, there's still more. But what's more important is how you're using it. What is the energetic intent that you have for what you're doing or what you're putting into the world? Because that's always internal and something we have to really look at. Several years ago, 2016, I began writing about racism and misogyny because see, these are things that I can remember. I know that we live at different times and move through events in the world. So I understood those and knew they would be coming up now. Over time, discovering I was a mystic and a sage and I had received all this information, but the information is mindset work. There's nothing that we can do to ourselves that is more powerful than doing mindset work, because we have to recognize we have different paths that we follow, but we have this DNA, this connection to limiting things that have existed before. It's really easy to see it in me because I'm a Black person. Of course I was enslaved and I had things implanted into my memory that would tell me that I'm not enough, that I couldn't do certain things. So it becomes my responsibility now to undo that so that others never have to move through that. We all do that. And that's a higher level of consciousness that exists within each of us. And if we do that, then we start to see a very different world. But, my work has been a little different because I started more than 35 years ago, sitting down every single day and receiving this work. And every single day it changed my brain. You can't get to that next level until you're willing to do that deep inner work. You might call it, soul work or mirror work, whatever it might be. But it's moving through it. How did I survive so many dark nights of the soul? How did I connect with my Wilhelm and my soul mission? How did I heal everything throughout my life that didn't even make sense? How did I discover mind-body connection? But that's what I'm going to talk about in the workshop, and it's called The Workshop That Will Change Your Life. Discover your soul mission. See, because you have one, everyone does. It just may take us some time to get there, and we may have a lot of fear and resistance of owning that. because it's new to us. I tell you all the time, I had a really difficult time accepting what I had received, even though it was showing up and delivering the results in my life. I'm going to read one to you because I just want you to have this, and I'm going to probably put a little more of these out before we get to the actual workshop, because I want you to think, because it's only in our thinking that we can change anything. It's only in our individual consciousness and how much we're willing to accept about ourselves. And this one was talking about praise, and you'll think about this and apply it to yourself. Praise is quite an interesting aspect of your physical life experience and can be used by you to great benefit. All souls desire praise or recognition, acknowledgement, and love. It is a sure signal to the individual receiving it that they are noticed and appreciated. While most times you desire this praise, there are other times when you do indeed receive it and notice how uncomfortable you become. Now, this is not something to be feared or to think something has gone wrong with you, but more of an indication that you are still in the process of discovering, owning, and acknowledging your own worth. This is merely expansion, and it will likely be with you as long as you are in physical form. And that was saying we can come into the world and we get praise when we're younger from our parents, teachers, or whatever, and then we start to depend on it. Now we've created a dependent personality, and we need praise from others before we can start to own who we are. That's not empowerment, and that's not evolving. But the earlier things were helpful when we received it, but now we've got to do it ourselves. And that's what's going to take you to that place where you are evolving. You're supposed to be successful, you're supposed to be prosperous, and you're supposed to offer something else to the world so that we have a better world and we continue to evolve. But I'll give you more of this because I'm so excited about presenting this work. We can all create a much, much better world if we decide to evolve ourselves.
I haven't done anything like this.
It's increased the confidence that I've had in myself.
Everything is better. I mean, every single aspect of my life. My income, the progress is just amazing. Like you can see changes from week to week.
Introducing your last development program, Life Transformation for Success, the newest part of Roger Burnley's coaching series. In this 3-month online program, you will learn the mindset tools you need to dissolve the shame of your past, discover the gifts within you that make you important to the world, and get the confidence to rise above anything that stands between you and the life that you want.
Everything changed in my life. Everything. Every single thing.
It's time for you to reprogram your mind for success and become self-actualized. If you're ready to transform your life too, learn more at yourlastdevelopmentprogram.com today.